is the Arizona Cardinals defeating the Carolina Panthers 26-16 in this matchup here between two former Oklahoma quarterbacks, two former first overall picks in Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. This game was, I mean, this is something that happened. This is a game that Cardinals won, Panthers lost. What were your takeaways from this?
My first takeaway is you skipped a game.
What?
But
it's supposed to be Chargers, Texans.
Yeah, but it's okay. We can do this one first. That's why I was shaking my head because you're just a real struggle today.
I'm so tired.
My biggest takeaway from this game, I'll say it once more just because I feel like saying it again. Baker Mayfield ain't it. He's bad. Like I thought he was talented enough to do something. I never loved Baker. I talked about him in Cleveland all the time, that I didn't think he could get them over the top because you need everything perfect around him. He comes to Carolina. He has a great running back in Christian McCaffrey. Got some weapons outside in DJ Moore and, Robbie Anderson or whatever. A solid defense. I'm like, okay, run the ball, play action, get it to your guys. He can't even do that. He can't do it.
Correct.
I don't know. Carson Wentz is much better than Baker Mayfield. Much better. He's a much better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I don't know which quarterback I dislike more, because I really dislike Carson Wentz just because, I'm me. His QBR this year is 15. His QBR last year, when he played like crap and was hurt, was 35. His QBR through 4 games is 15.
That's not good, Bob.
That's what? Not good. That's not even playing football. That's
15.
It's 15. That is
15. It's not good, Bob. It's not good. In this game,
they scored one more point than his QBR is on the season. Like, it is so bad. He's inaccurate. He gets balls batted at the line of scrimmage because he's too small. He misses wide open guys. He throws behind his targets. They don't get any run after catch because he misplaces his football. He is not a good NFL quarterback, and the Baker Mayfield experiment is just about over.
It's done. It's done.
It's not over because they don't have nobody to replace him right now.
Well, Sam Darnold is coming off of IR, but I think he's still a ways away. I think that was the report that came up this morning. But in this game specifically, Baker Mayfield had 5 passes batted down at the line of scrimmage. Most in a game this season. He leads the league in passes batted down at the line with 10. But it's not great from Baker Mayfield. And we talked about this with the Tennessee Titans. You got to give them the ball more to Christian McCaffrey. Like, 17 touches is not enough. Like, look at what. So this is there's 3 teams. I said it before earlier on the show. 3 teams: Panthers, the Giants, and the Titans. Like, give the ball to your running back, and then everything else will magically work out itself. Okay, you have DJ Moore there, you have Robbie Anderson, you've added Laviska Shenault who had a good game last week. You have weapons who, when you can give them the ball, they'll do good, but you have to give it primarily to your star running back. 17 touches is not enough. You have to give it to them 20, at least 20. I might have to change my 25 times for Christian McCaffrey is the least amount of times he can touch the ball. Like, that's how it needs to be. I don't care about his health. I don't care about anything else. Give Christian McCaffrey. If you're the Panthers, that's what you need to do. Unless you're trying to lose games, Christian McCaffrey has to touch the ball 25 times at least in a game.
It's not that. So the touches matter, but it's the way these touches were done. You put it in a very different perspective. You just said 17 total touches. It's not that. He had 8 carries. Like, they're not running the football. And so Christian McCaffrey's 25 touches needs to come in a different way than Derrick Henry's 25 touches, right? So when you talk about touches, Christian McCaffrey needs to get 15 on the ground, 7, 8 targets through the air. The problem with Baker Mayfield, and this happened even early yesterday before he started checking down to him, Baker Mayfield does not want to check down. There were numerous times in the first half of that football game Baker Mayfield drops back. Guys are covered, and he's holding onto the football. And Christian McCaffrey's right there, like waiting for the ball. And the biggest benefit you have is to get it into his hands early so he can then create run after catch, which he's really, really good at, arguably the best in football. And he wouldn't do it. He just would not check down because he wants to play hero ball. It's what Baker Mayfield is. And in the end, what happened late in that game when they started moving the ball? Yeah, guess what happened? They were checking down to Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey was breaking tackles, getting through the line, and getting yards. And it's Baker Mayfield's inability to swallow his pride and just do his damn job. That's it. He wants to be a hero, and he's not, but he wants to be one so bad. And him and Carson Wentz both have that. It's not good, man.
I just got a report saying Matt Rule said that Sam Darnold will not be able to play this week, but could be back next week. So maybe we do see a starting quarterback change in Carolina. And it's funny, we kind of changed the narrative on Carolina and Baker Mayfield because, like, I believe when they traded for Baker Mayfield, you and I and a few of us on the show, we talked about it, about maybe changing their record, thinking that Baker Mayfield would be able to win more games with the Carolina Panthers than Sam Darnold. We had higher hopes, so it's not all doom and gloom on Baker Mayfield from us. So we call it as we see it. And it hasn't been good from there. On the Cardinals side of things, though, they continue to have very, very slow starts and bad first halves. The Cardinals own the NFL's worst first half scoring margin in the league, and they own they're tied for third best scoring margins in the second half. So great second half team, terrible first half team. They were able to win this game after trailing 10-3 at halftime. It's a coaching thing, right? It seemed like there was a lot of problems with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury in this game as it was. What are you seeing right now from the Cardinals?
Well, it's always better to be the second half team because it means you're making adjustments. We'll get to them later, but so I think that's good for Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, despite the tension, whatever they want to call it. I don't buy into all that. I don't buy into the quarterback and go, like, these guys are in unison. He tried to recruit him. He was brought there for Kyler. I think they're on the same page. I think it's football, man. We watched Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes do that shit last week.
And then they shit pumped the Bucs.
Yeah, and we saw, it's no different to me than Patrick Mahomes going grabbing Travis Kelce and yelling at him in last night's game because he went the wrong way on a route and caused an interception or an incompletion or whatever. So this is football. We got the tempers and the talking on the sideline. It happens. I think the bigger issue with the Cardinals is, again, that identity issue that they haven't really had, but they've been able to make adjustments at halftime, which is a good thing. It's a positive sign going forward. You have to expect that when DeAndre Hopkins comes back in a few weeks, that offense looks a little bit different. That Hollywood Brown, by the way, has played really, really well. Shout out to him.
6 receptions, 88 yards, and a touchdown in this game.
Yeah, big time catch too. That touchdown catch was nice.
He's also been the most targeted wide receiver in the NFL this year, next to Devontae Adams.
That's not
47
surprising.
Targets to 45.
That's not surprising in that offense because they like to throw those quick out routes when corners are off. And so, the Cardinals, their defense is playing better than I thought they would. Like, a lot of no names on that defense that I'm just like, but they've played pretty well.
Isaiah Simmons.
They're finding ways to be in games and get it done. I know the first game against Kansas City, they got blown out. But outside of that game, they've been in every game. Even the Rams game, it was 20-12. Didn't look great, but it was a division game, tough game. They were able to beat the Raiders, and then now they came back and beat the Panthers. So maybe we were just down on the Cardinals too early, but I do think this is going to be one of those teams that sits around 8-9, 9-8. Going to lose some games they should and win some games that they shouldn't. And they're still missing something, but maybe DeAndre Hopkins can cure some of those offensive question marks when he gets back.
I agree. I'm exactly where you're at. Maybe we were a little too out. It didn't start off great, but they're just finding ways to win, and that's what you want to see. And again, the story for the Cardinals normally is slow start or great starts, bad finishes. Maybe this is what we're going to see when D-Hop comes back. They have a strong finish and turn things around. But the Cardinals do defeat the Panthers 26-16 in this matchup.